Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS Challengers League, here for our summer promotion tournament, presented by Subway, of course, and I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Hawk. What a day it's been. We're getting into our fifth one now, and it is a strong lead by CCG in that first game that led them to victory.
Oh yeah, a very strong game from them, but also a strong game from this revitalized Mirage Alliance, and now we're hoping that they can win this one and send us to yet another 6th game.
I'm slowly hoping, no bias. I just want more games. All right. I just want more League of Legends.
I mean, who wouldn't? Yeah,
exactly. I think this promo tournament has delivered so far. Again, we've seen all the series that we've played so far go all the way to 3. You have to also remember this series itself is not a do or die. You still have another life left in the tank if you do lose here, but the importance is continuing that upper bracket run and that the next match in front of you is a promotion match.
Yep, absolutely. And you can face Lit Esports later on. I mean, I'm sure Mirage Alliance maybe wants a shot at them yet again. I'm sure CCG wants a shot at them because the opportunity to promote in such a coveted one. And I think the main story is that, we're talking about getting to this 6th game. Mirage Alliance, even though it was a loss in that first game, looked way better against a very strong CCG than honestly I expected.
Yeah, it was really nice to see them use some of their draft strengths, especially, Aloran was a little bit gated up there in the top side with the Rex side, but it was really the other sides of the map, the Soligo carry performances, things like that were really big for Mirage. And the cohesion, for me, I think was the most important factor of it. Some of that got lost as the time went on. We'll see if they can wrap it back together for game number 2. Let's take a look at those Fearless bans. Again, Fearless means that compositions that you play are not available to you yet. Again, those champions will not be available, so we have our first 5 Fearless bans for each side.
And no more Azir Corki, please don't just handshake it the other
other way
for
it's
game
fine.
2. Yeah, no, we don't want it. We don't want it because I'm so glad that at least we have Fearless. So if we go to a game 3, which I'm manifesting, we will go to a game 3. We won't see that again because of the Fearless bans. Also things like Senna, Resident Sleeper. Like I want to see the crazy fighters.
I'm hoping for it. Now we are going to be getting to draft very shortly, and the more important thing is the lack of swapping of sides. We do have Mirage Alliance on the blue side. We have CCG on the red side yet again. We immediately get the Aurelion Soul ban from that game number 1 there yet again for Mirage Alliance.
Yeah, I think anybody that has been paying attention does not want to give that one to Bradley because it has been pretty evil whenever he gets that champion. So smart stuff to ban that one away. And the question to me is what the first pick is going to be because we saw first pick Senna last time around. Obviously, not having the option to go towards that anymore. We saw a lot of Jinx priority, for example, in our Lit Winthrop series. Wonder if Mirage wants to go back that direction.
And that's where I want to talk about the strategy, at least for Mirage Alliance. Again, they drafted full-on scaling. We saw Soligo kind of get to a point where he was very strong, but it was a lot of the game that was left wanting because they weren't able to be proactive. And I wonder if they're willing to try to go with that style again, just go with a scaling option for themselves, or if Soligo is going to get a little bit more cohesion in the early game with Dardoch. We already get that Varus and the Orianna ban by CCG as well on the red side.
And that's a great point that you bring up as well, Mazel, because I want to dive into that just a bit more. I think even though this was a much more coordinated Mirage Alliance than we have seen in past, I do think Soligo at times struggled to get involved with the team. I think that was their biggest issue in that first game, was having the Corki always in the right position to make the right plays. When he was there, it was awesome, but he wasn't always there, so I want to see Soligo on a champion that he's able to link up with Dardoch on. Again, I definitely would agree with that. And I think Dardoch on a playmaker. I think the Jax was really good, but I'm looking towards like the Vi's and the Wukongs of the world. Honestly, maybe more Wukongs. Because Dardoch on carries is good, but carries that can make a lot of plays I like for this player.
We already get the Zeri locked in for Neo, so back to a comfort champion for him, but also an important carry potential for Mirage Alliance, maybe opting more into that late game scaling again, at least with their first pick. We'll see what CCG's double answer is going to be. They could just go with a very strong mid-jungle duo, and right now it's looking like the Ahri, so you know that something aggressive is coming out next for Yukino.
Just go reset comp. Ahri Jinx, 1-2, like you pick the Vi on 3. I mean, we stay winning here, right? Like I feel like that is such a solid
Vi, right?
Group up. I would think Vi is a really obvious pick. I also don't think Dardoch picks it on 2-3 if you wanted to go like Jinx here, but no, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it's against the Zeri.
Yeah.
This was literally like, it had to be banned if you were picking Zeri because it locks her down so well, and now you have Bradley on the Ahri to be proactive. It is going to be the Azir for Saligo, a tried and true comfort pick for him.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I feel like Mirage Alliance has a very basic composition. No surprises so far in the draft. 80 carry is almost certainly coming out here, and we can just really look towards the second phase of bans, because I think this is where things will get interesting. Crimson had the luxury of the R5 counter pick last time. Just picked Cassante into the Rek'Sai. Nothing super spicy for our young top laner of CCG. But let's remember that the brother of Sniper and Viper up there, the 17-year-old Crimson, is mostly a carry player. Cassante is really the only tank we've seen from him so far this split, and with that one being removed by Fearless bans, I'm expecting the R5 to be a bit more exciting this time around, and against an Alorum that has many times been considered the gatekeeper of tier 3, this is a big test for the young top.
And again, I love the point. The young top, not only in age, but also into top lane, right? His family has such a big history of top laners, but he was a mid laner. And I think using some of those mechanics in those matchups in the top lane is very interesting. A similar story that we saw Bradley do, and now Bradley's back in mid lane. So that's why I love the story of the CCG roster. It's just a team of guys who want to compete in any way that makes the team work. And we saw that work out for them in game number 1. Now, in this second phase, we had that Udyr and Xin Zhao banned by CCG. It was already the Thresh against Trevor here to start it off.
And I'm also sitting here wondering what the odds are that this Poppy ever goes top lane for Alorum. Like, depending on the matchup. I don't expect it. It's just something to maybe have in mind, because I don't think, again, of Dardoch as like a big-time Poppy player. We will, of course, have to see what ends up happening. It is definitely going to be a support pick here. I think something like Milio could be really good. Lulu could be really good. You could go the tank support route as well. Something like, I don't know. I guess Nautilus and Thresh are the obvious picks that are removed. Maybe Alistair if you really wanted to, but also struggles into the Poppy, so I don't expect that.
Like
probably
some kind of engage. At least that's what Mirage Alliance are thinking that CCG want to grab. Lulu does give you a little bit of that peel ability, but also some serious strength increase to the Jinx.
Yep, easy. I mean, again, very sucked. No surprises in this draft so far, and I'm with you. Engage for Mirage Alliance is very much what I would like. I mean, honestly, any sort of tank top, like, for Alorum probably feels pretty good right here. Or, you know, I feel like Alorum never plays Renekton, but like okay, there it is. Yep. Okay, we're just calling the whole draft, I guess. Yeah.
Why not? I like it. And hey, we've seen right now Renekton is just prio pick. You can take it whatever any way you want. It's like a grilled cheese, if you will. You could just make it any way you want. I don't know how that works with crocodiles. Anyways, we'll move forward. The Rel is here, though.
The sandwich that famously is just melted cheese and bread. Yes, you can make however you want if your heart desires.
Hey, come on. You got to give the versatility of grilled cheese a little bit of a chance.
That's true.
Come on,
look, you can do a lot with grilled cheese. However, I have heard that there is a vocal subset of the internet that firmly believes that if you put anything else on a grilled cheese, it becomes a melt, and it's no longer a grilled cheese. But I don't know. We can ask Chef Tyler.
That's existential to me. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm scared of the future. We do get the Olaf locked in for Crimson, so you wanted some carry performance, you wanted some flexing, there you go.
And this has been Crimson's best champion throughout the split. He has had some major performances on it. I love the Olaf pick coming out. I think we're going to get a bit more of a spotlight on the 17-year-old top laner this time around. Crimson has said in an interview, my goal is to make it to the NACL for summer, make it into LCS by 2025 so I can play against my brother. And what a story that would be if he was able to pull it off. It starts here with this Olaf pick.
Get a lot of the onus to be a carry here, and I think it fits the mantle of Crimson. Again, historically with his family, but also that story of motivation, and a lot of the motivation for that play that we've seen from him so far this year. And I'm very curious at how Mirage Alliance approach this, because Dardoch on the Poppy, I like it. I actually think it has a lot of ways to kind of get into the nitty-gritty against CCG's composition, but they still have a lot of scaling potential that they're going with from that game number 1. With the Alorum, a little bit more of that backline access here.
And I think this composition in particular is going to be the big test of how coordinated Mirage Alliance is, because I think the question that they will have to answer is how safe can they keep their backline from the Olaf, from the Vi, from the Ari. But CCG, they are staring down the barrel of a game 2 that nobody has been able to sweep thus far.
Track record of excellence so far for CCG. And I think they have opted into saying, let's go. Let me go on to the next round. They have drafted a full frontal composition. They want to take the fight to Mirage Alliance. They're saying, yeah, we might say in the past that we want to take it easy and we want to skill check you as time goes on. They are not going to be having any of that this time around. It's really Mirage Alliance. They're going to have to withstand that pressure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Especially, I feel like CCG has so many options in their draft. If one of either Bradley or Crimson gets ahead, this game is going to be really hard to win. Additionally, you have a pretty solid front line on the side of Mirage Alliance, but you don't have a super tank, right? Poppy is going to get really tanky, but it's nothing like of the likes of like an Ornn or a Scion. You know, you can still burn this Poppy down if you're able to get on top of her first. If you're Instinct, get that reset, then all of a sudden chew through everybody else.
We got the compositional differences set in some regard. That level 6 mark is definitely going to be the upping of the tempo of action. I think until then, we're going to have to see what these mirrored paths for these junglers mean. I think the way that the early pressure could go bot side, if Dardoch makes that path, is big. He is starting the Wolves and immediately going down to his red side jungle.
And I think we saw that Crimson might have denied Alorum a creep of XP. I'm actually not entirely sure if he was in range of that first melee when he died, but definitely something to track. Regardless, as you say, both the junglers taking slightly unorthodox paths. It's actually Yukino. He wants to really influence this top side. I do think the read from CCG is we are looking to get our top side ahead to get Instinct to the late game as opposed to just getting this Jinx fed straight up.
Right now, it's actually insane. You look across the board, all lanes are pushing for CCG. Mid lane a little bit more even. Crimson has a pretty big wave at his back and has some fighting left to give to Alorum. This is something that CCG came into this wanting. They wanted pressure early in all the waves.
Ooh, yeah, and Crimson taking some nice trades up here. Burning through a lot of mana, of course, but having Alorum under tower like this is going to feel so good. They get a cheater recall for the bottom lane. They've got Bradley pushing in mid as well. I mean, all of their lanes looking good, at least on this first jungle clear for both sides. And I want to reiterate the idea of this is a huge test for Crimson. He has been able to stack up with some of the best in tier 3. He has pushed Denethor to his limit. He has pushed Stray to his limit. But Alorum has so oftentimes been a gatekeeper of top lane. And I've seen many young, talented top laners struggle to get an advantage over this guy. And in the carry matchup, we'll see if he can do it.
Trevor, he goes for a blind check in the bush, and it's going to be a flash utilized early. Neo still has flash going for first blood, and there it is. He's turning it up, and Instinct can't fight back.
Yeah, wow, that was super decisive. Mirage Alliance just flashing forward. Prismal, no hesitation, able to pick that one up. Going to the Zeri, that's going to help bring their scaling nicely online for Neo.
Early advantage in the 2v2 is not the expected outcome of this early game. It was going to go a little bit more calmly, but Mirage Alliance can use that. And I think for a team that struggled for a majority of their spring split in NACL, it is going to be something to hold on to. Yes, they have some Flex Seal coming in with some new additions in Neo and Soligo, some changes of the roster in terms of positional strengths, but we got to see some of that cohesion in those fighting moments for them in that game 1. And right now, they have a lot of scaling options for them. They just need to hold on Dardoch.
On my way pings from Mirage.
He's going to walk in here because Neo has wrapped back around. Ultra Shock Laser is going to go a little bit wide. Trevor and Yukino should be fine.
That was a really nice rotation from Mirage that I think comes purely from scouting. We saw this exact same thing from CCG last game, and this time they moved Neo to preempt the exact same timer and sniff it out, not allowing CCG to go for any sort of Raptor steal or aggressive play. No kills end up going down, but that was just like you could tell Mirage Alliance did their homework with that kind of move.
Now objectives are up. Yukino is already starting up the first dragon. The Peligrubbies are on the other side, not being watched just yet. Nobody's turned on the TV. But it is an early objective with some of that presence that they had from their bot lane push.
It's okay. You know, the Grubs, there's 3 of them. They got their friends there no matter what. They don't need
It's like the
friends,
SpongeBob
you know?
meme. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you said he needed to prove himself. That's a
Ooh.
flash out from Alorum.
All right, Crimson forcing that one out. The undertow not connecting as Alorum first to burn the summoner. Now we got junglers lurking in the bottom side. I think Yukino is on a base timer, but Prismal wants to go.
Oh, I love that combo with the Rel, and now Trevor is in worse for wear situation. Dardoch is on his way, and Trevor walking up there, but
Wait,
Instinct
though.
wants to strike first. Rocket to the face, and it's going to be the move
Wait a minute.
away from the wall so the wall bang doesn't come in, and Instinct outplays them.
And maybe a little bit of that lack of coordination from Mirage still showing itself in this game, as Dardoch was not in range to follow up. Prismal wanted to go before the wave could crash, overestimated his tankiness, and not only do they give up a kill to the Jinx unanswered, they're going to get the Grubs on the opposite side as well.
They are getting everything in this early game. Again, going back to the conversation that this team is unanimously voted to promote here. And they are represented against Mirage Alliance, the last seed coming out of NACL. Now, they only got 2 of the Grubs, but that's fine. They can come back later and grab those. Now, Mirage Alliance can swoop in and scoop that one up. Maybe make that fight a little bit more worthy next time around.
Yeah, I mean, Crimson was simply on a base, so they didn't want to go with Alorum having first access. Now that Crimson's back in lane, I think Yukino can honestly just wrap back around to that Grub pretty quickly, because we look at mid for a second. Talk about Bradley and Sligo yet again.
Prismal.
Bradley is outplaying his opposition for the 2nd game in a row, up about 10 CS, consistently having first move to plays like that to chunk out Prismal.
What else do you expect from a guy who's been a superstar mid for CCG, but also a superstar,
Just a
winning
superstar.
winning laner in NACL, one of our 2 Chains champions when he was on Team Liquid as a top laner. Now trying to make his way back to NACL as a mid laner once again. Now Instinct and Trevor having a pretty heavy push down here, getting some plates.
I mean, this is a really good early game for CCG because they're just outlaning their opposition, and there's not been really any pressure to speak of. Mirage Alliance tried to go for 1 plate. It backfired, giving over even more of a lead, and just so much control being exerted from CCG. And it is so cool talking to Bradley about, you know, his swap back to mid lane and everything like that, because you talk about him being a superstar laner and everything. He's like, you know, I don't care which solo lane I play. Like, I'm just going to be better no matter what. And, I mean, you got to respect it.
All right, Neo getting trapped up here. Prismal goes for the engage. Oh, the lightning crash, though. Here comes the Keeper's Verdict. Separate the difference. Oh, nice move for Prismal. And Dardoch going with the flash play. Neo is lit up, and that's going to be Trevor falling. Potentially, no, Neo gets flashed on. Nice cease and desist, and you sit down, Neo, as Yukino comes in to make the difference.
Yukino's having a really nice series, the way he's controlled these neutral objectives, and then the Vi mechanics right there to pick up the kill onto Neo to equalize things. Look, Instinct, he kicked the field goal. Neo scored the touchdown, but at least it was equalized by his jungler.
Love the football references. I'm sorry if anybody doesn't understand them. But, I think
you know, the rocket
scoring the points
right?
with the thing and the stuff.
Yeah, you know.
I do want to see, though, if we get some adaptation towards top side of the map, because those Grubs are still up, and if I do believe the 3rd one is still sitting up there. So maybe a plan by Mirage Alliance, kind of leave that one going. But I want to focus on what can go right for Mirage Alliance, because so many things have seemingly gone right for CCG so far, but we're still dead even. So Neo has a lot of strength now. He's going to be close to a first item. He is known as a carry, right? We could go back all the way to his time on Optic Academy, and especially Optic Gaming. I think the specificity of him coming in to try to be the carry for this Mirage Alliance is important to highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Neo is in a position in this game where he has to step up and be that guy in the way he was for Mirage Alliance last summer, as well as in past organizations before, as you referenced. He's the one with the kills, he's the one with the gold, he's the one with the best scaling on his team. And I mean, Alorum, Dardoch, Sligo, they are all falling behind in their own right, meaning so much responsibility will fall to this area.
There's the lone grubby. See, now he doesn't have friends, and now he's sad.
Now he's alone. Oh,
that's very sad.
Him and Amumu should hang out.
Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Aren't they cute?
I think the Grubs look really cute and derpy.
Like,
so look at it. Look at him. He's a little guy, you know?
So what is the name when it's by himself? He has to have like his own name if he's by himself.
I don't know. That's a great. That's like something I've not thought about. A Mumu. That's a Mumu.
That's just a movie who's all alone.
Yeah. That's an Amumu skin. Single grub Amumu.
I can appreciate that, right? Please take notes. Anyways, we actually saw Neo getting aggressed on in bot side, but Crimson still having push priority, still having a wave advantage here over Alorum is important because they can keep him up there and force the other sides of the map. Now we see them taking another neutral objective.
Yep, and I think this one's going to go over uncontested. Yet again, Mirage Alliance, no way in to really make a play. I think at this point, we're looking towards those team fights, right? We asked the question at the start of the game. Can Mirage Alliance keep their carry safe? Can they keep Neo safe? Because this strong Olaf, this 10 CS per minute Ari, are gonna be gunning for him.
And we get an Infernal Soul onto the map, too. Another plate going down. Oh,
nice reaction.
Bradley! He's got the moves! And that's the Spirit Rush out, and will be some ultis traded in mid lane.
I mean, Bradley is like, he's honestly just kind of making fun of him in this mid lane a little bit. This is the second time this series that we've seen Soligo be the aggressor in a form of all-in. This time he at least doesn't get solo killed, but Bradley just makes it look easy, dancing his way out.
Ooh, Crimson, he pops the Ragnarok while Alorum pops his Dominus. We're going to see which Titanic top laner can take the fight. Looks like things will calm down there anyways. I want to take a look at the item spikes coming out. Malignance just completed for Bradley, but we had the Kraken Slayer static shift for our bot laners now.
Yep, and speaking of bot lane, Yukino is not on the same side. Last time we saw Dardoch go aggressive, it backfired. Yukino wants to get the top dive, but what happens on the cross map?
They waited. Crimson was all the way at the other side. Now Alorum, he's going to dash his way out, but cease and desist will force him to sit yet again, and Yukino gets that kill. Mirage Alliance, we're looking for a play on the other side of the map.
Oh, but that's so big. They didn't get anything. They only got the ghost off of Instinct. No kill for Mirage in bottom yet again. As Dardoch not able to find it. I didn't see what happened in the dive, but I mean, clearly Instinct and Trevor were able to clear out that wave. They're feeling completely safe. I never thought I would say this twice in one game about Vi of all champions, but nice Vi mechanics from Yukino to give himself the vision and press the Archie. I mean, that's what it's all about.
It's been some really big lockdowns from Yukino, and I think rightfully so. They went with the aggressive composition. They said in draft, we don't need to scale. We're going to hands diff you early, and we're going to take a snowball. So far, not a big snowball. That's the thing. They always start out small, and then they get real big.
And you know what? Like, it is a snowball. It's rolling down the hill. But again, I want to keep going back to this term that I've been using. It's a bridge. They're just looking to give a nice, big, strong bridge for Instinct to be able to walk across. And that is truly what it's all about. The responsibility of the top side of CCG is just getting that carry to that point.
Love Soligo pressing up now that he has Leandri's. A known Azir enjoyer looking for the solo onto Bradley. Trevor was right behind him just in case with the wild growth if he needed it. Has heal available too. Okay. Oh, we're going to play on bot side. Nice little switch of Roonies there as Gromp ends up going over to Mirage Alliance. Prismal looking for Instinct here. He's going to get the crash down flash out of Instinct. He is hiding them away. There's the keeper's verdict. And Mirage Alliance pressing up on bottom side. They have already gotten a couple plates down there for Neo too.
Yeah, rare mistake from Bradley in this series. Getting chunked out means that he cannot join the bottom side play, and this is going to be gold in turret plates going away. Turret plates fall off, but I think this is going to be the whole tower over to Neo. Instinct getting denied a couple of waves as well. They at least are able to defend the tier 1, but I think that's the first real nice move we've seen from Mirage Alliance in a while.
Actually going to hover around here. They've just been consistently down here. Dardoch's been hovering for so long. CCG moving out onto the map. There is a Rift Herald on the other side of the table. A good move too. Yukino is going to find out Dardoch on the bottom side. Crimson looking going onto Alorum
here. Pop R here.
Yeah, he could. He also has the Stride Breaker
he can go. He
over
can go.
top. No, I got to go for it. Just that. A little bit of reservation, but he also force popped Alorum's ulti there. And Yukino gets out with the red buff.
Yeah, honestly, that's fine. Crimson doesn't have to fully commit to the dive by getting the ulti out. As long as he can crash this wave, he can just take a base, walk down to Dragon. Alorum has no TP, so he is likely forced to respond. And an ultiless Renekton in a 15-minute team fight is a hell of a lot worse than an ult having Redectin.
He could probably just take that turret too, as he's just gonna stay
That
up
works
there
too.
and hammer on it. Yeah, get some of that standing gold for his team. A little engage there from Prismal is gonna be taken away. Dragon coming up very shortly. There's that turret take, and
He
it'll be
can
first
still
turret
go
for
to Dragon.
CCG.
And Crimson can still go to Dragon. He's going to have first move towards it because, again, Alorum, no TP to match, and he's forced to answer the top wave. Yukino, though, he wants to get the fight started before the top laners can even arrive.
They know they're on a ward there, so they're trying to go for the engage now. TP
Saligo.
coming in from Saligo. That could be a big difference maker. Yukino left out to his own devices. Charm connects onto Saligo as soon as he joins, and Mega Death Rocket makes it so. That's Jinx from Arcane, don't you know? Prismal's going under turret here. Bradley trying to chase him down. Zap hits. Charm connects. He uses the Ultra Shock the wrong way, but Neo trying to get out with his life. Barely able to survive.
1-for-1. Jungler traded for mid, but CCG, they got the health bar advantage, and here's Crimson on the move. Working on mid lane tier 1 as well. This is exactly how I wanted to see the young top laner get involved. And just like that, all 3 outers gonna get taken by CCG. Who needs a dragon when you can open up the map like that?
If this was Lord of the Rings in Helm's Deep, Mirage Alliance are hoping and praying that Gandalf's about to come over that ridge, because my God, the floodgates have opened in CCG. They have complete map control.
Is Crimson the giant orc that just dove like headfirst into the bomb, like to blow up the structures? He did kill 2 towers.
And that is also a Lord of the Rings movie, so you know it all works out.
It's the same movie, yeah.
Crimson, as now we see. And, Charm. Saligo gets caught again. That can't happen. And this is a 5-on-5 that Mirage Alliance can't hang with. Mega Death Rocket over the top. And Instinct is lit here now, as well as we need to see a readaptation of Mirage Alliance because they are losing every neutral objective on the map.
Yeah, and how's that snowball looking now, Lennon? Because
it's big.
Yeah,
it's not biggest snowball ever, but it's damn big.
It's pretty substantial. I mean, Crimson level 12, Bradley level 12, great charm landing against Ligo. You gotta flash those. Unfortunately, cannot. And look at the Olaf and the Ahri running forward. You got an excited Jinx as well. I mean, the fight is completely lost as soon as one member dies for Mirage, and unfortunately, not able to prevent that from happening. And we talked about building a bridge for their carry. How about a 3-1-2 Jinx?
Oh, Trevor. He's almost got caught there. Is maybe going to get caught in the end. Although a charm for Bradley. We've seen this before. Ooh, Yukino is getting focused down. And Dardoch claims his life. Neo able to do a lot of damage on that second item spike.
Okay, and Yukino actually going a little too far forward. He does get taken down. I don't think there's anything for Mirage to get other than the satisfaction of killing Yukino. But look, it feels good to get something back. And 3 kills now onto Neo. That is an extremely necessary thing.
Oh,
now
Crimson.
4v5.
Crimson's in a lot of trouble. He has no way out of the back of the pit, but he's going to fight his way out of that one. That Mega Death Rocket did a lot of damage. Nice Keeper's Verdict. Pulls him out, and Crimson taking his life away. That is the Rift Herald. Continuing. Bradley misses the charm. He still has the Spirit Rush available. The Malignants will be used here, but they push them off the Rift Herald anyways.
Yeah, Bradley, he's still going.
Oh no, he has no movement available except for his flash. Neo's gonna flash forward. He's missing the Qs! Oh my god, that was so close. A shutdown going over the way of Alorum. Instinct looking for a big play, but he could get locked down. Here comes Yukino. He gets locked himself. That's a double kill though. And now Yukino's the one that has the skirmishing power. Saligo still with a lot of carry potential, and Neo right at his back. Mirage Alliance, ooh, flash play from Yukino. Now Saligo with the push and shove. He's gonna find it, and Alorum gets yet another one. Mirage Alliance, they will not back down from a fight, and they're looking to fully clean CCG up. They're going under tower. Maybe this is just a confidence booster here as Saligo's taking the tower, and he just wanted to get the difference. That's a kill back, but it doesn't matter. Mirage Alliance have evened it up.
Yeah, but the main takeaway, though, a rare moment of weakness. CCG, they get flustered. Rocket not going to secure anything as everybody is out. And as you say, this game has been equalized. The only thing separating them is the Dragon Soul point that CCG has to their name. And I mean, I kid you not. I thought Bradley, I thought Instinct, they could clean up this fight. Instinct able to take down Dardoch, who did give his life to secure the Rift Herald. And from this point, these health bars so low, it looks like a Jinx fight. But unfortunately, it is hard to win fights when you're getting eaten by a crocodile. Alorum, good ruthless predator right there, empowered to secure the kill. Big shutdown over to Saligo. And as we come out of the replay, however long it may be, I mean, a huge chase down that Mirage wins. I'm going to want to look at the gold and where it's allocated for both teams, because Mirage got a lot back here.
They did, and Trevor just behind the play a little bit. His ulti was not available. That wild growth could have made the biggest difference in the fight, but that's the good timing, at least that they were able to represent for Mirage Alliance. We take a look at that gold now.
I mean, look at that. Neo, richest in the game. Instinct right on his heels. Saligo, Bradley, Crimson, and Alorum all in a pack right behind. It's good allocation for both sides. And I think a huge question is now, we're into the late game, 21 minutes, Neo and Instinct. Their teams have gotten them to this point. CCG, they may have slipped up, but they've got to now prevent this Zeri from being able to carry.
Whose bridge looks better will be the answer of this game, and who will move on to a potential promotion match for the NACL summer. Crimson going on to Alorum, cease and desist there. They just catch him out completely, and that's a shutdown to Crimson. That's a lot of gold to an Olaf. They did try to push in mid lane, but they can't really find anything else.
Hover down from Bradley as well means that Mirage Alliance not confident enough to commit forward for the bottom mid lane, rather, tier 1. And this is going to give CCG full control over this dragon area. They can take the river for themselves before basing, come back, fight for the next mid wave, and just get that dragon started. As you say, Infernal Soul Point could be such a difference maker in this one.
It really is, and it's so early to fight for a composition that definitely wants to be on like the 3-item spike situation for Mirage Alliance. And that doesn't mean that they don't have a fight to give, but it'd be much better to take it here in just a couple minutes. But they will not have that time. They will not have that grace. The Rift Herald is going to be used mid as a bit of a distraction, Carnifex style, but it isn't going to be enough.
Well, it's at least an effective enough distraction to pull CCG towards mid. They do have Yukino lurking on the flank, but Dardoch doing a good job to mark off the Vi. No charge to come through. Did you want that, Saligo?
Yeah, that Rift Herald was not healthy when he took that one. They lose a lot of their health, but they go on to Yukino. This could be the big pick they needed. If they can catch out Yukino, that's a big difference. But the wild growth comes out. Prismal's the one to fall. Now Instinct's getting real excited, but look at the carries on the side. Mirage Alliance, they have a pincer maneuver, but a big mega death rocket. And here comes an excited Instinct to clean house. 1 rocket, 2 rocket, 3 rocket, 4 rocket. Give him some more as Instinct comes for their heads, and he murders all of them. A quadra kill and a dragon soul. CCG won it all.
Oh, he barely didn't get the first kill on Prismal. I thought it was a penta, but who even cares? That's going to be an ace from CCG, and that might just break this game 1 victor's curse, as it's Crimson that secures the first kill. And from this point, just watch Instinct flashing out of the fight as he gets zoned away from Saligo and Neo. The rocket to secure the kill on the Dardoch, who gets pushed back into the fight, recognizing that with the lethal tempo stacked up, the way he spaces Neo, Trevor flashing in just to help secure it, sidestepping the Emperor's Divide. This AD carry of CCG is just going crazy.
He is insanity incarnate, and he is 9-2 for CCG. What a performance, and what a nail in the coffin for Mirage Alliance. Now you have so much fighting force for CCG. You are getting close to those 3rd items for Bradley, and you have so much presence on the board.
CCG considered to be a lock for promotion, looking like they will be playing in the upper bracket promotion match. They will have 2 best of 5s available to them to make it. Crimson, his dream of fighting his brother in the LCS, 1 step closer. All they have to do is close out this game.
Looking confident as ever. They still have 2 minutes on the Rally Cry Baron buff. Yukino hunting in the bushes, though. CCG will move on to a 2nd-tier tower up here. No real response out of Mirage Alliance just yet, and Instinct can continue moving forward.
Yeah, and it's so hard to hold this siege. I mean, Mirage, they have decent wave clear, but it's so much on the Azir. Really difficult to burn through these Baron minions, and CCG, just like they did last game, spreading the map, spreading the multiple lanes, forcing multiple responses from Mirage. This now mid lane tier 2, the focus.
Oh, they just go for him, and he's gone! You blink and you miss it. Saligo is out of the fight, and that's a tier 2 down. Instinct using his excited state. Tarnok is just running around in circles, and it might be indicative of how this Camel's back is about to break as another one falls. CCG are coming for their head.
Yeah, it's just Alorum and Neo alive, and I don't think it's gonna be enough. Instinct 9-2-6 on the Jinx. He's excited because he knows they're going to the upper bracket finals of the promotion tournament.
They will not be brought to a third game. They will not lose another game after losing one yesterday. And this would-be T3 super team will make the march to that promotion game.
And CCG, we already knew they were good. We already knew they were one of the favorites to promote. But here against Mirage Alliance, one of the other premier favorites of the promotion tournament, they have put all 5 other teams on notice with our first 2-0 of promotion.
And now they look forward to their opponent in Lit. My God, I can't wait to watch that one. Oh, it's going to be intense. We had Rock Boom popping off. We have Instinct popping off. So many things going the way of CCG in their decision making. They went into a game number 1 where they were playing a little bit more of that late game style. They got a feel for Mirage Alliance, and just like a ruthless predator, they said, we're going to attack you every minute of the game, and they come out dominant for it.
I mean, that's just the CCG game plan. They keep it close. They keep it close. They keep it close. They get gold in the right places, and one huge fight is all they need to absolutely blow open the game. I think all of their members played so well in the series, from Yukino controlling neutrals, Crimson passing the gatekeeper in top lane, Bradley against Saligo, showing why he should be in the NACL. I mean, like, what a performance across the board.
And for Mirage Alliance fans, you got to remember this is just one of their 2 lives, so they will be knocked down to the lower bracket. But after a short little break, we're going to be talking with a member of CCG. We'll be back.
Introducing the new Footlong Sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious Footlong Cookie, Footlong Pretzel, or Footlong Churro.
Welcome back to the Rally Cry post-game interview. We are joined by CCG's top laner, Crimson. My man, what a game. You whipped out the Olaf, and you down smashed that top side of the map. I do have to ask, though, what has the transition been like for you to top lane? I know you were playing mid lane before, and what was the meaning behind it for you? I know we've talked about it a little bit, but I want to hear it from you.
No, yeah, honestly, I mean, going from top to mid, like, there's definitely no regrets there. I think just, honestly, I was feeling really burnt out of mages mid lane. I just like wasn't really enjoying them. Honestly, I could have played either roles and really like performed well either way. But I think top lane was meant for me. You know, like with my brothers being top mains, I think I could shine the most there too. You know.
Yeah, I guess top lane blood just runs in the family, right? I mean, clearly you're making your mark, and now in this last game, you know, we've always talked about Alorum being this player that so many young top laners have fought up against and not been able to overcome. But Crimson, you did it on your signature Olaf pick as well. Walk me through how you were feeling in that game too on that carry champion.
No, yeah, I mean, I saw Alorum off a tank, you know, just decided just give me my Olaf, my one trick, pretty much. Just lock it in, and we win the game.
He's
no play Alorum.
Off take, you know what to do. I want to talk a little bit about what it means, I guess, to promote to NACL, right? We get these promotion tournaments twice a year, but it is always a story where we have some domination from some of the NACL teams. This time around, feels like you were the unanimous vote to promote back into the NACL, and we talked a little bit about your story getting to the NACL and what you want to do after that. So what would being in NACL mean to you in that step towards facing your brother in LCS?
I mean, it's just one step closer to becoming the best version of myself. That's the way I see it. Like, it's like one step closer to LCS, you know? Like, that's the ultimate goal, of course. And once I get my spot in the NACL, I want to prove myself, you know, prove that I'm the best top laner there, and then hopefully get promoted that way.
That's awesome. One step closer to being the best version of yourself. That's some good words to live
That's
by.
a quote right there, man.
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, the last main question I have for you, zooming a little bit back in on the promotion tournament now, you're on your way to a qualification match, one best of 5 against LCS Esports, and you even have a second life to burn if you need it. How are you feeling going into the match in a couple days?
No, honestly, I mean, I feel great, you know. Lit. Hey, all I have to say is the team is not very good. Dragoon office, you know, cheesy picks. It's just a free series. Even my team feels that way, I'm sure.
Some confidence. All right, I like it. Well, I want to give you a chance to give some shout outs. Anybody you want to talk about before we let you go, man?
And shout out to my team, shout out to my brothers for watching the game downstairs. You know, I'm gonna go celebrate with them afterwards. But job's not finished, so that'll be
Love to hear it. I'm looking forward to what comes next for you guys. It's going to be a fun matchup against Lid. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to say goodbye to you now, and hopefully not for long. We'll see if we can get another interview with you at some point. Now, Hawk, it wasn't the 6 games that we maybe dreamed of, but it delivered in a lot of the ways that we expected them to. CCG came in as a top dog, and they showed out.
Yeah, we had some exciting and high-level games despite it not going to 6. And like you said, CCG undoubtedly coming out looking like the team to beat. Not that this was a surprise, but still, I mean, it was close for a lot of time in those games. But when the dust settled, I would say it was a pretty dominant series from CCG. And now with the series up against Lit looming, they are looking good.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. I will say Mirage Alliance proved one thing, and that Neo is the real deal. You got to be so careful if you are blue. As I want to say that a lot of these lower bracket matchups, even though it is their last chance, they are going to be hyped. The fact that the 2 collegiate representatives are going up against each other in Miss and Winthrop. Winthrop going to be kicking themselves for this series today, but one of these teams cannot come to the promotion and cannot come to the NACL.
Yeah, that's a bummer for my predictions, Lennon, because I predicted those 2 teams to get out of this tournament, so not looking so hot right now, but either way, I mean, this is going to be a great series. Ole Miss, a team that's leveled up so much over the course of time. Winthrop has had their number every time they've played thus far, but I think that this Ole Miss team is one that continues to get better. And then on the other side, Blue Water, Mirage Alliance, a matchup we've yet to see with a wealth of experience on both sides. What more could you ask for of a week long of tier 2, tier 3 League of Legends.
I love it, and it does not stop. The gauntlet continues every day as we are going to keep going down this bracket until we have our 2 teams to join the other 8 in the NACL. But Hawk, it was a pleasure. We got to cast 2 times with each other this split. It was an absolute pleasure, and I love that you were able to bring a lot of the energy to match me. It was always a lot of fun, but it was really cool to see a lot of the stories we talked about coming into this one actually unfold the way we thought they would go, or at least in some semblance. So what were your big takeaways from either the qualifier teams or some of the NACL teams before we go?
I mean, you know what? All I have to say is that these teams are looking very competitive. We expected it coming in, and that's ringing true. My qualifier teams making me proud, and nothing gets me excited like casting some great League of Legends on the Challengers League stream. Lennon, it's a pleasure to cast with you again, my friend. And I mean, hey, we still got a whole tournament left as well, and it's going to be a doozy to watch, so you all are not going to want to miss it.
07, my friend. Now, it is an end of the day. But we'll be right back tomorrow for more League of Legends. We're going to go raid Perry, so make sure you give him a big hi, and we'll see you next time on Summoner's Rift.